1-30 for the men and women?
Yeah, let's start off with that. We got Dedrian Colon here with me. Quick live special here on War Media Facebook. Previewing we're doing some wrestling talk in general, but we're previewing the Royal Rumble. And Dedrian, like you just brought up, man, apparently they're gonna be revealing quite a bit ahead of time about the Royal Rumble WWE on their backstage show.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's tomorrow, right? Or it's not tonight. It's tomorrow. Okay, yeah. So I think tomorrow. It's from what I remember, and for those who are watching, I'm paraphrasing. It's not sure. You can Google it, okay? So I believe they're revealing the number 1 and number 30 entrants for the men's and women's.
They revealed the 1 and 2 for both sides, for both women's and men's.
Is it 1 and 2 or 1 and 30? Because I think they're doing
1 and 2 and the 30 for the men's.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what they're
for the women.
Yeah, so that's what they're gonna be revealed and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a lot of surprises. One name that's being thrown out there that possibly could return is Seth Rollins. And they're saying that he might come back as not the Messiah, but the Seth Rollins that we liked before he fought the Fiend. That's Seth Rollins.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, so I mean that's a possibility.
But why wouldn't you hold him up? Why would you reveal 30 and not have him go 30? I mean, why would you reveal 30?
Yeah, it's weird. Like they never done this in years past where they revealed, hey, this is number 1 and this is number 30, or maybe they would reveal number 1. Like if I think when Chris Benoit was number 1, they revealed it back then. But
sometimes the storyline, who's going to be 1 because they pissed off the McMahons or did something other, and they got, or like the year when Roman had to defend the title. I think he knew he was going to be number 1 because he was defending the title in the Rumble. But yeah, I mean, revealing 30 is like it takes out
that's right,
drama and potential surprises. It's like. They've had you had the year when Cena came back from injury. Usually it's like when somebody comes back from a long injury or something like that, and you haven't seen him for a while. I think Triple H did it once, and he was, and this would be the case with Seth, sort of, because he really was gone because of the baby with Becky Lynch, but he still has been gone for a while. So it's like, why wouldn't you save that till 30? And I heard Brian Alvarez speak about this earlier this week, and he was like, well, they must have a surprise for the women's side if they're not going to reveal 30 for them. If they're revealing it for the men, they probably want to guard against putting somebody out there at 30 who people don't really who people don't really care about. Like the year they put out Rey Mysterio when everybody was looking for Daniel Bryan at 30. They try to guard against a situation like that.
Yeah, one of the other names that I've heard that you probably seen it online that they were mentioning, like a superstar returning from injury.
Jason Jordan did that last year as well, but he didn't go as 30. By the way,
it's Jason Jordan.
Jason Jordan.
Yeah, that's something we haven't seen.
For that.
It's like what the hell. So apparently he came, like he's healed from like his injuries and stuff like that. So he's possibly coming back.
That'd be good to see him come back.
Yeah.
And I heard about that too, like earlier this week, like, and possibly him reuniting with Chad Gable. Like, that's what I would want to see him.
Oh,
American Alpha
happen.
Being reunited.
Man, can you imagine American Alpha and the Street Profits?
Oh man, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Man, so the other name, now more on the women's side, I think that's where you're going to see a lot of surprises.
Yeah. What are you hearing over there?
Man, I'm hearing everybody from, of course, Tessa Blanchard, because she still hasn't wrestled, but there's still that whole AEW thing. So that's a 50-50 shot. Another one I'm hearing is Taya Valkyrie from TNA.
Right, she is leaving. She did leave Impact, didn't she?
Yeah. And her husband's Morrison.
Right, Morrison. Right.
So there's that tie. Allison Kay is another name. Ronda Rousey.
It's been a minute. When did she last wrestle?
Damn, I think last Royal Rumble.
Was she in the last one?
I think 2019. Yeah.
She was in the Mania in 19, right? Because that was the triple threat, right?
Yeah, that was 2019.
I think that's the last time she. Is that the last time she wrestled?
Well, you know what? That's how far it's been that we don't even remember when was the last time she wrestled. That's bad. Oh man. So yeah, I'm hearing her. One of the names I'm also hearing is that Lana is going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah, I've heard that too, and I'm like, I don't know if you want like what you can do that because they don't have a live crowd. But if you had a live crowd, you wouldn't do that if you had a live crowd. Yeah. They would eat her up. But without a live crowd, you could do that. But if you do that with her, you have to have her win. You can't have her go out there and get put through another table by Nia Jax, man. You have to have her win if you're gonna put it out at 30.
Yeah, so I heard was it Naomi could be back? Because if you look at the graphic that they showed on Monday on the men's and women, it was like a total, like each was like 17. So it was like, okay, there's 13 spots you guys haven't revealed. So it's like, okay, so you also got to remember there's legends that they're probably going to incorporate. Sure. So it's like, okay, you're probably going to have one or two surprises for each, men and women. I know on the men's side, I've heard everything from like Jay White. Who else? But that again, that's 50.
Yeah, you can. You can't tell.
Yeah, one name that I did hear that might be there is Walter, which would be freaking awesome. That is my guy.
Yeah, we both talked about Walter needing to be
man. Yeah. But you know what? Walter's good, but I did catch a glimpse of the Superstar Spectacular, and there's there's two brothers, Giant, was it Xandar and Shanky Zing? That's his actual name. It sounds funny.
Yeah, I think I saw pictures of them. I haven't watched that yet, but I think I saw them. They're big dudes, right?
Look, just imagine Kali with Strowman's mobility.
Oh, okay, a little. Yeah, that's good.
I was watching. I was like,
upgrade.
I was like, holy sh! Well, we can't cuss on there. I was like, holy, who the hell are these guys? Like, remember that tag team, the Skyscrapers? Like that should be their name because they're literally skyscrapers. Like Mysterio, freaking Mysterio was at the guy's hip. Like he's. I'm like, this should be legal. Like how? Like how do you have these two guys as a tag team? And man, I mean, those are other names that could be entered in the Royal Rumble. The people that were on the Superstar Spectacular. That was a really good show. Really good showcase for a lot of the Indian athletes that they had on their roster. So that's those are some other entrants that you could see on there. Also, keep in mind, we also could see on the men's side, Damian Priest.
Yeah, they've been talking about bringing him up for weeks now. So yeah, I would hope he would get a run.
And on the women's side, and you probably know this by the smile on my face, Rhea Ripley.
That'd be great too. Same thing with her. They would talk about bringing her up for weeks now. Yeah. It's like, bring her up. Let her run wild. Let's see what she got.
And they need it. Again, we don't know what creative direction they're going to go after. The 100 million or 100 billion that they made. Either they're going to increase.
We'll go into that in a minute.
Yeah. Either they're going to increase or what. Me, I don't care. Just make it entertaining. You have all that talent, man. Just make it make sense. It's like I watch Raw on Monday and SmackDown on Friday, and then in between, I watch all the other stuff. Just balance it for the wrestling world. Like, just balance it. Just make it make sense.
Well, I think we went back and forfeited in our private private channels, and but I think we were saying a lot of the same things. But first, just to for those who don't know, I think you would know if you're watching this, but WWE announced at the beginning of the week that they're shutting down their network where they house all their thousands of hours of content. Going back to the beginning of the company and all types of other companies who they've absorbed throughout the years. The whole WCW library, ECW library, all types of regional promotions. Their libraries they've acquired throughout the years, and of course they air all their new stuff there, their new pay-per-views, their big events and stuff, documentaries, and of course ongoing shows, 205 Live and the main Crown Jewel show, the NXT, and but all of that, it once stood alone, and there was a subscription service you bought directly through WWE, but now they've moved all that. They're shutting it down. They moved all that to the Peacock streaming service, which is a service that is owned by NBC Universal, which is a longtime broadcast partner of WWE. That's where Monday Night Raw airs on USA. USA is an NBC Universal network. So the longest they've been in business with USA, they've been in business with Universal and NBC and all that. And of course, the NBC going back to Saturday Night Main Event and everything. They have a long history with NBC.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So what this deal does really is put them at most in bed with NBC as Universal as they've ever been. And if you want to see any type of WWE stuff, essentially that isn't on Fox, that really Friday Night SmackDown, which is about to come now. Yeah, literally, you're gonna be watching it through NBC because you're watching it through USA and Raw, or you're watching the network stuff, which is gonna be on Peacock. So it's a big deal. And the numbers they said, the numbers report was like $1 billion deal overall. They getting WWE's getting like $200 million a year over the next 5 years to have all this stuff be involved with Peacock. And so WWE is as rich as ever. And like Dedrian says, will that money be put into the product, or will it just be, or will the McMahons just be swimming in it like Scrooge McDuck?
Autopilot. That's the correct word.
Yeah. And everything else under him goes into autopilot. We'll see. We'll see about that. My thing though is that, in sort of a cynical way, I kind of think, in some ways, Desiree, you thought, and I think it's a fair thing to think that this whole thing is sort of like, NBC Universal bigging up, the McMahons and bigging up WWE and saying that, good job or something like that. But I just like, I've heard other people say this as well, which, I think it's more about just being able to have so much content that you can't deny yourself of it. If like WWE has so much content that it is worth in this day and age that money, because it brings in streamers. It brings in all those, everybody who is subscribed to the WWE network currently is going to be added to the Peacock network, and when everything goes over to Peacock. And I don't know how many of those people are actually subscribed to Peacock currently. Actually, I'm one of those people who is subscribed to.
Yeah, I got the free version.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to Peacock and WWE right now as well. So I don't count as much, but a lot of people will be counted as new subscribers to Peacock because they're going to want to see WWE stuff. And I think, this deal, like I said, in the end, I think it's more about having that content and solidifying that relationship that they have. And it's not so much like, oh, we like what you're doing, because I don't think they really care so much what WWE is doing between the ropes and on their TV shows. As long as it brings a certain amount of viewers to their networks and to their streaming service, they're good. They don't, like I say, they don't really care about 5-star matches and great writing, great swerves and stuff like that. They just want that content that they could keep pumping out and advertising to people and use them to bring them into their services. So that's my
it's when you look at the numbers, and thankfully I found the numbers before we went on air because we were going back and forth. I'm like, man, I gotta find the damn numbers for how many subscribers, because a lot of people online have been talking about it, but they really don't break it down and look at it like you said. You know, from NBC and Peacock's perspective, they want more subscribers. Like this is easy. This is an easy grab. Like it's kind of like the GameStop. Easy grab. Whoop. Sweep up, get it.
Right,
all right, cool. 100 million, pop, drop it.
Easy.
I know. So for the other side, the wrestling side, that's where a lot of people are concerned that, again, NBC's not looking at content, storyline, swerves, but on the wrestling side, a lot of wrestling fans are concerned, like, hey, is McMahon going to take this like, hey, I can do whatever, and all right, whatever. We'll just keep it the way it is. Status quo. And that's easily to perceive as a fan. Where, again, I'm not back there. We're not back there. So we don't know what the issue is. For what concerns me about this deal is the WWE is so high that now you have more people to account to as far as your shareholders, and more people trying to get that pie. And, you know, like we seen this past week with the GameStop thing, you know, they're a publicly traded company. You know, man, all it takes is one thing, and you got to readjust here, you got to move here, and it's the
McMahons don't want the WWE stock to start short. They want people to start shorting on the WWE stock.
Yeah, so I mean that's a concern, but I mean it benefits Peacock, it benefits WWE because now you have some stability. Because now when you get tired of the network, you can stay on the same platform and watch Saved by the Bell. It's like you can watch The Office, you can watch SNL. So I mean, it works in itself.
WWE doesn't have to; they don't have to spend the money they have to spend to upkeep the network. And unfortunately, some people are going to lose their job behind that, of course. But yeah, as we see over the past year, WWE don't mind handing out picks. Even though they're making all this money.
Yeah, it's like, we'll make $2 billion. Okay. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 40? Okay, bye. Like, what the hell? What the hell? Don't worry. We'll send you a package. So here's some of the numbers as far as the subscribers, as far as the video streaming services in the United States. The UK is a little bit different, but in the United States, so
you're looking at them. You're looking at Netflix and
Disney Plus and Peacock. Peacock is in the same platform, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in the top 8, all right. Number 8 is ESPN Plus. They have 8.5 million subscribers. Number 7, you have HBO Max with 8.5 million subscribers. Number 6, Peacock with only 15 million subscribers. Now this is where at number 5 and up, it just jumps. Like it's
a big jump, ain't it? Yeah.
Woohoo! So number 5, you have Hulu with 35 million subscribers.
Okay.
Number 4, Apple TV with 40 million subscribers.
A lot of people use Apple.
Man, Disney Plus, you have 45 million subscribers.
45? Wow, I thought it'd be more than that.
Then number 2, you have Amazon Prime Video with 50 million.
50? Okay. Yeah.
And number 1,
Netflix.
75 million subscribers.
Yeah. It's a competition, and you gotta put your numbers up. Like you say, Peacock only has 15 million, and Netflix has 75. So that's
a 60 million.
Yeah, that's the ceiling. So I mean, who knows if they're ever going to even reach that mark? But they got to do something to at least push themselves higher and have less space in between them and that, you know. So this type of deal is the type of thing that is a perfect deal for them. It's like we'll bring in whatever number you got from WWE, whatever wrestling fans you got, we'll bring them in. We want them because we got to get our numbers up. We gotta be relevant as a streaming service, and you know it's gonna be a lot of competition going forward. You see with all these acquisitions, these shows and these movies, like HBO Max doing the movie release thing, and That's why they're doing all this stuff, so they could boost up those subscription numbers.
Oh yeah, it's fun. I know for those who work in like movie theaters, it's unfortunate and everything,
Yeah,
but until people are vaccinated and we're able to congregate with no issue as far as a virus,
you can't. Yeah.
This is what we have to deal with. And that's the other thing about the deal. It's good in a pandemic environment, but we don't know how this is gonna play out when we get fans in the arenas and WWE starts traveling. It's just
you wonder how things will play, how things will go back to what degree. Because I think I'm guessing you've probably heard some things about this too. Is like with WWE and with wrestling in general, like how often are we going to have house shows going forward? How often are we going to have live events in general going forward? Is it going to all of these entities, these wrestling entities have gotten to they've gotten used to, they have to at this point on some level gotten used to camping out at a single spot and doing their shows, having the flexibility actually to do pre-tape segments, more pre-tape segments than even we did before, and do matches that are pre-taped
and camera tricks.
Yeah, where they can manipulate things. And especially when you talk about WWE, with ambitious as they can try to be, like you mentioned, they're going to be trying to incorporate all three characters from Bray Wyatt.
It's speculated. So
there's a possibility. I would bet money that they're going to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because they're already doing it. They've been doing it a lot in the past month with Alexa Bliss. So it's like, to see it's not surprising. I want to see how they pull it off.
They've held them off TV for the past couple weeks at least now.
For a month.
Yeah, I guess a few weeks now. It's been a month about.
When he's cooking.
He got burnt. He got burnt to crisp. He got barbecued in the ring.
He saw the buzzards.
It's wild. The man actually got burnt to death in the ring, and he hasn't been on TV since. But they go bring him back this Sunday. I bet they go.
Man, I needed that laugh. Oh man,
yeah.
So
that's what WWE wants, and like it's a taste thing. Like there's so many. There's a number of fans who are like, whatever, give me whatever you got, And there's also a certain amount of fans, old school fans, who are like, man, I just want to see good wrestling. I just want to see good stories told with people on a human level. I don't need to see all this crazy stuff. And however you want to get it, WWE. However you want to get it. WWE doesn't really care. They're going to do what they're going to do. And I think, in regards to the argument, like you said, what are they going to do with this money? How is it going to affect their programming? I think it comes down to pride, and it's like, for so many years since 2001, they haven't had really any competition. So they did whatever they wanted. If it was Vince picking a fight with God, they did that. Anything from that, that's about as weird as they've gotten over the past 20 years. But they've done plenty of crazy stuff short of that. But now, today, they actually have some competition to a degree. And and it's not, only one of those companies really, AEW, can match them on a platform level and arguably on
money wise too.
On the money level, on the money level.
they could, if they wanted to. They could.
Yeah. But when you look at buzz wise, every week, every month, we're seeing something different from these other companies. Something pops up, and this is something I want to get into right before we leave, because it's already about to be 7. But you look at 2 things that happened this week that is really fun from the perspective of an overall sports fan, and particularly a basketball fan, is that you got Tim Donaghy, the former disgraced NBA referee.
Oh man,
helping Richard
Holiday.
I don't know. I don't forget my man name. Richard Holiday retain the Caribbean title, and outwardly being crooked, like we've all known him to be in the NBA. He's a full-on wrestling character now, and that's something that has been written up in Sports Illustrated now. It's trying to get across the internet. MLW smartly put out a promo today because on the actual show they put out Wednesday where they did this match, they didn't have Donaghy talk. It was just they just had the match happen, and he walks off with Holiday.
Yeah, it was like what the hell?
Yeah, he was doing all the stuff that refs don't do. It was funny as hell. But they put out an additional video today where he was backstage with Holiday, and he actually got to speak a little bit. He referenced this Kings Lakers series from years ago. I think he used the wrong year too. He said like 2000. I think he meant 2002. But
yeah,
he referenced this old series that he worked where people have long been like, oh, they were cheating during that series. The refs were helping the Lakers cheat during that series, and it was great. And like I said, on top of that, you got AEW, like we said, the most legit contender to WWE. Officially getting Shaq involved now.
Oh,
and he's going to be apparently wrestling their star and their co-executive vice president, Cody Rhodes, and Cody himself has done a lot to keep AEW alive, and to promote AEW outside of the wrestling world. Yeah. He's appearing on other shows and everything, and he's making himself into like a cross-section media star now. So it's when we think, I think WWE is big on spectacle and doing things that other people can't do. So
they got Bad Bunny.
Yeah, so they've had but when you, like you said, AEW has money too, and these other companies have creative people who are like, let's push boundaries as well, and let's see what we can do to get attention. Let's see what we can do to get buzz. So it's like, when it comes to back to WWE, it's like, do you want yourself to be seen as the old fuddy-duddies who can't put together a show that anybody cares for in 2021? And the thing is, when you look at SmackDown, though, at least for the past few months, they put out a show that people want to watch. The ratings have shown that people on Friday nights, again, we're in the pandemic, and you can't go out on Fridays like you used to. But look, people are watching Friday Night SmackDown, and they are liking what they see, and they're mostly doing old school wrestling stuff that has proven throughout the years that it works. Yep. So it's unbelievable how you can do one show like that a week and do what you do.
And the complete opposite. Like, you're in the same company. Like,
yeah,
literally, you're in the same building. Like, it's not two separate buildings.
You're producing everything in the same building. Yeah,
it's like McMahon's here, Roman Reigns is here, and Drew McIntyre is here. It's like,
we talk about Bray Wyatt's person. It's like the company has two different personalities. At least it probably, you can probably say three because of NXT too. Yeah,
man. Oh man,
it's wild, man.
It's crazy, but man, when I seen, because there's two videos going around with Shaq. There's one that he gave during the AEW Awards, which is like an hour before Dynamite. Which interesting, they had a glitch where the first 15 minutes of the show didn't air on certain streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Which affected their ratings because they're like, that show was a really good show. It was. So you have that video, and then the second video is they addressed it on NBA on TNT.
Yeah.
So Ernie, that's on Bleacher Report. I'm like, what the? And right away, I'm like, man, this is going to get a lot of buzz for AEW. And it's cool because they they got ragged on with Jericho when they came. Was it the opening night? And everybody was ragging Chris Jericho, NBA Twitter.
Right, everybody saw Jericho, and they was like, "Yeah, this what happened to Chris Jericho?"
And you know what? I got to give you credit because you brought this up a couple times when I've been on that. Hey, AEW is going to work that NBA relationship into their programming, which is smart because that NBA Tonight with Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, and Shaq, best by far.
Yeah.
Best. Most engaging.
They got a lot of people watch them, and they trend a lot on. They actually themselves they have a great Twitter account, and they trend a lot, and they're on often on at 11, 12 in the morning. They still trend.
Yeah. So Twitter. I mean, that's going to work out for AEW in the long run because if you can get Shaq, and then you start getting a few of these NBA players, and somehow you get LeBron.
Right.
I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't rule it out.
Imagine. And LeBron, LeBron's got to promote that Space Jam movie later this year.
I mean, it's Warner Brothers.
And all that's together. All that's together, man.
It's the same thing with John Cena. You know, he's going to be in the Fast and Furious movie. That's produced by Universal Pictures.
But you're right. But he's also in Suicide Squad, which is Warner Brothers.
Yeah, so it's
he's doing a whole show on a character that he's gonna be in on Suicide Squad. That's gonna be on HBO Max. That's and I know you said before Cena may jump over.
Hey, was it Scott Hall said it? Booker T said it. If the money's right,
and the money's there.
And the situation makes sense, they're going to jump. That's just wrestling code 101. They'll jump. If it makes sense, they'll jump. So, but yeah, man, this is one of the best times to be a wrestling fan. You know what? I think all of us wrestling fans, I mean, we go back and forth on Twitter, stuff like that, but we really need to commend all these wrestling companies because this is something we haven't seen in 40 years. Yeah. This interest all over. And, the fact that we can have a crappy show on Monday and then literally 24 hours, you can have Impact. Then the next night, actually Impact and Dark. And then the next night, you got NXT, MLW, and Dynamite. Then Thursday, you got NXT UK. And then Friday, you got SmackDown.
You if you're a real wrestling fan, you got something to watch every day, and you're definitely kept busy all the time.
And that's why
someone like you, I know you're always doing something.
So here's the thing: this is why I stopped writing my reviews because man, that got tiring. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna grade the show.
Well, I told you just give them stars. Don't do all that writing.
Well, you know what? At the time, I wasn't covering Impact, and I'm like, okay, yeah. But then when Omega jumped, I'm like, man, I got to cover that now. Then when Roman Reigns came back, I'm like, man, I got to cover this. Then it's like, man, you know what? Screw this. I'm just gonna go with it. So yeah, I guess Daniel Bryan's on right now. I got SmackDown right here.
I'll let you go because I know you're gonna review SmackDown, and I want to watch too. I'm gonna be channel hopping, but I'm gonna check out. But what do you think about Bryan? Chances of winning the Royal Rumble.
Okay, so man, I don't think I gave you that. So my list as far as guys who I think are going to win the Royal Rumble on the men's side.
Who are your favorite?
Cesaro.
Okay.
Daniel Bryan and Big E. On the women's side, I got Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, and Lana.
Okay.
Those are the most logical. For me, those my most logical.
Like I say, you never know with WWE and logic, but AJ's invading.
Oh man, I gotta watch that thing tomorrow. Well, you know what? The good thing is we got the Royal Rumble, and we're gonna have a damn snowstorm here in Chicago.
You're right. Yeah, Demar's asked me because I was thinking about going over to his house to watch it. I was like, I don't know, man. If there's snow, I ain't going to go through the snow to watch.
I'll give you a heads up before we leave out. You guys should do a watch along on StreamYard.
we may do something. You know what I'll see. We may actually. I'm probably not the whole show, but maybe the Rumble itself. If we yeah.
Well, which one? The women's or the men's?
Yeah.
I would do the men's.
Yeah. Hey, no disrespect to the ladies, but you know.
I know.
Are they actually letting the big brother talk? What's that?
Man. Yeah, your feed is quicker than mine because mine is later. Because I still got Daniel Bryan talking.
Okay, yeah, he got his AJ got his big bodyguard with him, of course, and then.
Man, that guy's huge. So yeah, those two Indian guys, they're his height.
They're big as him.
Yes, and more mobile.
Wow, yeah. Well, I guess so. If they're actually letting them wrestle, yeah.
All right,
that's fun though, man. But yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun though. Let's get back on. Like I said, I'm gonna do a whole show on Monday. Let's get back together. And we'll recap what happened. Happened on Sunday. All right, man.
Yes, I'll keep my sanity for the next 48 hours. Oh yeah, because I got to do another show tomorrow. Yeah, I got to do wrestling talk.
Yeah, do your plug, man. Do your plug.
Yeah, you can. Actually, we just started our own Instagram account. It's Wrestling Talk. It's RASSLING Talk. It's on Instagram. We're working on our YouTube channel specifically titled Wrestling Talk. Right now, we're streaming through the WeWinChicago.net Live YouTube channel. We're also streaming on Logic Media Facebook page, so you can check us out every Saturday at 7 p.m. Follow us, hit the notification, like. What I did for this? Hey, hit the like and hit the notification, because if you wanted to watch and it slips your mind, you're gonna get that notification.
Right. Same for War Media on YouTube as well. Definitely.
Yes. So yeah, we're gonna be recapping this past week and previewing the Royal Rumble. And our motto is we cover everything in wrestling, but with fun and humor. Because I think that's something that as wrestling fans we kind of need that.
Yeah, nobody likes a too serious wrestling fan. Like you can't watch wrestling and be too serious about it, man.
Yes. I'm brain locking, but there was one wrestler I gave the description. Oh no, now I remember. So if you're watching Dynamite and when Red Velvet was addressing Jade Cargill, she's like, man, what did she say? I'm going to kick your ass and something like that. And JR's like, she said she's going to kick her ass. And she's serious. Like, what? What the hell is that?
No, you know what was the best, though? Last week on SmackDown, where Heyman was like, I'm from New York. I'll whip your ass.
Yeah, he said, and the way he inflected, he's like, I'm from New York. I'll whoop your ass. Like, and that's the thing. Like, that's something that me and shout out to my, Julio that I do the show with. We crack jokes on like we don't make fun of them. Like, they don't know how to work or anything. Like, look, we respect these guys. They take bumps. Like, we would never do it. But man, there's some stuff that you gotta joke up. Like, this is hilarious, man. Like people,
it's meant to be. It's over the top intentionally, man. It's meant to be.
Yeah, like I actually tweeted Brian Cage because he was talking about how they beat up the merchandise guys on Dynamite. So I tweeted, I was like, hey, make sure you don't beat old Batman and Dick Grayson in the Revolution. And a bunch of people, like, he didn't respond to it, but everybody else was like, man, that's wrong. That's wrong, but funny at the same time. I'm like, dude, Sting's like the old Batman. Like, he's still bad, but he's like the old Batman. And you're not Robin.
You gotta be careful with him.
I know.
You're right.
But it's all in fun because it's like, hey, when that match happens, man, it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to how they pull that off. I think Batman's jumping Sting.
That really we gotta flesh that out because that kind of is like Batman Beyond, where you had the old Bruce Wayne and old boy is like Terry McGinnis, the new Batman.
See, that's the beauty of wrestling. You start noticing these things. But man, thank you so much for having me on tonight, man. This was so much fun,
doubt, man. No problem. I'm glad you did the promo.
Yeah, so you know what? Next time, just give me a heads up. And it's more on me because I should have asked. But give me a heads up, like, hey, you know what? Can you get a little plug? I'll do it next time.
You know what it is, man. You know it's whatever. It's whatever with me and you, man. We good. But yeah, enjoy the show, bro. Like I said, we'll talk more throughout the weekend, and we'll get up on Monday.
Exactly, man. Enjoy the Royal Rumble, and I think it's backstage tomorrow that they're going to reveal number 130. Yeah. That whole thing.
Check out backstage if you want to see those first, and they may throw out some other stuff there too. So you'll check out backstage on FS1 and Royal Rumble. I think maybe the last show on the network or I think Fastlane is going to be the first show that they show on the
Peacock. Yeah, because I know everything goes through like March 18th.
Yeah, March 18th.
What's crazy? It's going to be 20 years since they bought WCW.
Yeah.
Which is that's a whole other show.
Yeah, we're gonna do something to mark that too, to commemorate that coming up. But we'll work on that though. But yeah, man, it's a lot going down, man. A lot going down. It's not a lack of stuff to talk about with wrestling. So
man,
keep up with Dedrian and Wrestling Talk.
Hey, we didn't even touch on the Bullet Club, but
I know you could always talk about the Bullet Club, but that's going on. Yeah, that's of course that's going on too. Yeah, that's still going on. No doubt. But yeah, I'll holler at you, Dedrian, man. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you, brother.
All right, we'll talk to y'all later, man. More coming up with Regal. Check out War on Anchor. Got some shows coming up over the weekend. Second City Sports Weekend Edition, and I'll post up my show from the other day. I was talking with Drez and talking with Rashid Hadi. That's going to be up the podcast version of that soon, and a special mixtape coming up this over the weekend as well. We're doing a lot of fun stuff. War Media, man, coming at you, man. All right.